Stranger Things is ended. What happened in the series finale? After 5 seasons and nearly a decade, Stranger Things has reached its conclusion, with worlds colliding, sacrifices made, and a future left deliberately open-ended. The 2-hour series finale, titled The Right Side Up, set out to tie together years of mythology, relationships, and trauma, while staying true to the show's original spirit, a group of young people in 1980s Indiana standing up to unimaginable evil. Created by Matt and Ross Duffer, the series began as a small-town supernatural mystery inspired by Stephen King, Steven Spielberg, teen comedies, and Dungeons and Dragons. By the end, it had grown into a massive cultural event, but its emotional core remained unchanged. Below is a clear breakdown of what happened in the finale and where it leaves the characters. The final threat, Vecna and the Abyss. Season 5 positioned Henry Creel, better known as Vecna, as the ultimate architect behind the horrors plaguing Hawkins since Season 1. Vecna now resides in the Abyss, a hostile world connected to the Upside Down through a wormhole. His plan is apocalyptic: crash the Abyss into Earth and remake the planet in his image. To do this, Vecna kidnaps several Hawkins schoolchildren, using them to amplify his psychic power. Stopping him requires one last, nearly impossible mission: Operation Beanstalk. The hero's plan, dubbed Operation Beanstalk, is equal parts daring and desperate. Steve Harrington proposes that the group climb the Upside Down's version of the Hawkins radio tower and leap onto the Abyss itself, like Jack climbing the beanstalk, once it draws close enough. Meanwhile, Eleven is tasked with the most dangerous role of all, entering Vecna's mind and destroying him from within, freezing the Abyss in place. Once that happens, Hopper and Murray Bauman plan to detonate a bomb in the Upside Down, sealing off the other worlds forever. Against overwhelming odds, the plan works, at least at first. With help from fellow lab survivor Callie and Max, Eleven enters Vecna's mind and severs his connection to the kidnapped children. The Abyss halts, allowing Steve and the others to make the jump. But Vecna fights back. The battle and Vecna's end. Eleven is forcibly expelled from Vecna's mind and instead launches herself physically into the Abyss to confront him directly. Complicating matters further, the Mind Flayer, revealed to have a symbiotic relationship with Vecna, awakens and attacks. The battle turns when Will Byers, whose psychic connection to Vecna dates back to his Season 1 abduction, uses that link to slow the villain down. This gives Eleven the opening she needs. With an unexpected assist from Joyce Byers, wielding an axe, Vecna is finally killed. A final revelation adds tragedy to his story. Henry Creel was corrupted as a child when the Mind Flayer infected his blood, reframing him as both monster and victim. Is Hawkins saved? Yes, but not without consequences. Even as Vecna falls, the heroes face one last enemy: the U.S. military. Dr. K and her forces arrive, intent on capturing Eleven and exploiting Hawkins' lab's research for Cold War purposes. When the bomb detonates, it destroys the Upside Down, the wormhole, and the Abyss, erasing everything the government hoped to control. Hawkins is finally free to rebuild. But the explosion appears to claim lives. Who died? And is Eleven really gone? Vecna is dead. Callie is killed while protecting Eleven. And then there's Eleven. Before the mission, Callie argues that the only way to ensure the government never experiments on children again is for both of them to be destroyed along with the Upside Down. Hopper begs Eleven not to accept this fate. In the final moments before the explosion, Eleven steps back through the portal and vanishes as the Upside Down is obliterated. Yet the series ends on ambiguity. In the final scene, the group plays Dungeons and Dragons in the Wheeler basement, where Mike suggests an alternate ending. Callie may have projected an illusion of Eleven's death, allowing her to escape and live in hiding somewhere far away. The show offers no confirmation, only hope. Where the characters end up, an 18-month time jump brings viewers to the spring of 1989. Max and Lucas are still together, stronger after everything they endured. Hopper proposes to Joyce, who accepts. He asks her to move with him to Montauk, New York, trading crickets for seagulls and starting fresh. Jonathan and Nancy break up before the finale and do not reunite. The older teens' futures come into focus. Jonathan attends NYU Film School. Steve becomes a local schoolteacher. Robin enrolls at Smith College. Nancy leaves Emerson to work at the Boston Herald. For the younger group, the clearest signal of what lies ahead is Mike becoming a professional writer, echoing the Stephen King-inspired roots of the series itself. A bittersweet goodbye. The Right Side Up leans heavily into the passage of time, both within the story and in the real world. Flashbacks and a high school graduation scene underline a recurring theme, a generation whose childhood was cut short. That idea resonates not just for the characters, but for viewers who grew up alongside them. In the end, Stranger Things doesn't close every door. Instead, it leaves its audience with something more fitting, a sense of loss, growth, and the belief that even after darkness, life continues, sometimes in ways we're not meant to fully see.